Good evening, you beautiful bastards, or good afternoon if you're all the way up in America. I am joined here by the tyrannical Emperor Goodwin. How are you doing, sir?
It's wonderful to be here in Northern English, Heinemuckerfrau's stream. It's very exciting, and I'm glad that this is a movie that you'd never seen. So
I know
you
it
would,
gives me a bit of a challenge to sort of like go through because I mean sometimes I go through movies that that I've seen so many times I can pretty much know a lot of them off by heart. But yeah, well if I'm still a little unfamiliar with this, even though I've watched it twice, but I'll still give it a go. I'll give it my best shot or my
you bet.
worst shot, which is probably the same thing here today in this case.
Make you a cup of my Java. That'll help you out.
Yeah, just don't mention cleaning lady.
No. My
That's such a good
Heinemuckerfrau.
that is probably one of the few times where you see Steve Martin really go Steve Martin in this, especially in a film where he's playing it a lot more restrained and much more dead straight compared to his previous work from before.
Yeah, and it's interesting how they got to the it's we probably ought to talk about kind of the layout of this movie before we get into it, right? Um, so originally Steve Martin had written a script and he wanted Carl Reiner to take a look at it, and they then said something
Dale
like,
Nix.
"What if we were in like we took a shot from a classic movie and I was interacting with him, and then like as they sat at the table, it was like, what if we made the whole movie like that?" And that was how they ended up with it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
one film, one shot. I think I read it in the trivia as well. Yeah, one shot and said, let's just do the whole thing.
Yeah, do the whole movie like that, right? So what they did is they collected like these these great noir films and watched them all and like wrote down scenes and where they thought they could do interactions, and then they assembled the plot based on those clips and what they could do, right? So
Yeah, because they could still be very funny in isolation, even if they were put into a film. Because a lot of people will be already familiar with these old movies, and to
right.
see the dialogue reworks that way with, you know, probably does lend to a lot of laughs.
Yeah, and this was something that Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks had done in Show of Shows, where they would do like Ben Hur, except they would do it absurdly, but they would play it dead straight and serious, right? But the whole cleaning woman choking out is because of that scene that they pick with Betty Davis, where he's that's actually in the film somebody is choking her, and so they figure, well, they want to do that, and then what's the excuse? And they just kind of work backward from all of these shots, right? And so they assemble this movie with this hilarious plot that I think Carl Reiner said, look, it's no more crazy or confusing than The Big Sleep. Anyway, which is kind of accurate. That's a while a classic noir movie, you kind of raise your eyebrows and go, what the hell is going on with this
Yeah,
at
because I
times?
was I was kind of thinking the same with this plot, and it's like, all right, is this actually coherent? This plot because But in the
It
end, I just
does,
didn't
yeah,
care. I kind of just didn't care because I was just laughing my fucking ass off the whole time.
yeah.
Yeah,
And so the they not only did they collect all these shots, but the director of photography actually did 6 months of research at Technicolor to try and match the look of the old film that they were using with what they were going to shoot with new. Right, they were trying to pick the right film that would still maintain the kind of the correct grayscale black and white that would match up with the other things, right? And I think the only technical part that I think it falls down on just a bit is the classic shots are a bit blurry, and the reason is that all of
yeah,
those
I noticed that.
movies were shot in 4:3 aspect ratio, right?
Yeah,
Because
and I've had
all
to zoom in as well, and
right, and so to make it, yeah, to do the 235 to 1 aspect ratio of modern movie, they essentially have to zoom in.
plus the fact that the movie's been sort of like remastered in Blu-ray kind of does make the differences look a little bit more. Really does define makes the differences look a bit more defined as well when you
Right.
watch. It's still a very funny movie. The idea is still great.
It
It's
is,
still
and
very well executed, very well shot, and
oh
very
yeah,
well.
they brought in so many classic production people for these movies who often worked on the movies that they're using the clips from, right? They specifically mention at the end, because Edith Head died before the movie actually came out. Um, her career spanned from 1925 to 1981. She did 432 movies as a costume designer. So she had done all of these movies, and they actually, if you've seen The Incredibles, the Edna Mode character is based off of Edith Head, her look and everything.
Yeah, and and I think I'm trying to see what else, and but it does have some very good setups as well, and
Yes.
especially when it comes to the cleaning lady thing, 'cause it's not just a thing that just happens twice. It comes to something really cool in the end with when it's said in German, and
Yes, yes. And then why don't you
uh,
translate that and tell them what it is? Yeah.
so
So
I'll probably
there's always these odd setups. I mean, they're odd because you have interactions with people, because he's trying to figure out all this information, and he's always walking into gunfights in these noir movies or things like
yeah.
that.
Sometimes it does happen with the lead character in one of these PI noir
Yeah.
movies,
Oh
like.
yeah. Yeah.
He gets the shit kicked out of him a lot, and or
Yeah.
gets shot on a lot.
Yeah.
You
One
don't
thing
get
is, Steve Martin intentionally did not watch a lot of these movies because he was afraid that
yeah,
if
with
he
mimic
saw
Humphrey
Bogart,
Bogart, something
yeah,
like
he would
that, didn't
start
they?
to copy him. Yeah.
Yeah, because it is real easy because that's what's kind of established, with the very worn down detective, and everything's very hard, and I was drinking hard, and I couldn't,
Yeah. Yeah.
couldn't get my
And while
shit
it
together.
still has that noir style with
Yeah,
the voiceover and all that stuff or whatever, it's great that he's contrasted with um, Bogart in those scenes, and that he seems like a different kind of person, right, than what Bogart's playing. And so
yeah,
that I think it really helped him in that.
yeah, because his character's not really an idiot. Yeah, he's kind of a bit of a bit of a serious goofball, but he is very deductive, even if some of the even if he does come to a lot of conclusions that seem way too advanced
Yeah,
for us.
yeah, yeah.
That's kind of
He has
laughs on
some
him.
knowledge, like the when he goes, oh, that's the New York Times, the August whatever, and it was like, really? Okay, I mean, I guess if you insist, or the year of the rat, uh, it's plausible, but it strains credulity at times for some of his conclusions.
Yeah, and so we probably will get started anyway and I love how it's got the really old Universal pictures from
Yeah,
the 40s or 50s version.
30s or 40s. Yeah,
But I do kind of miss the Nazis version a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But once again, we've got these great shots. It's got some great visuals. There's great
oh, and this is
shadows.
all matte painting.
Yeah, yeah. I miss matte paintings. There's something cool about that.
Yes.
Even though it's like this two-dimensional images, it just gives off this great visuals, and you can't help but marvel at just how it looks.
Yeah, and the artists that were involved in making them.
I know. I mean, they're really fucking working. That's another reason why I like the Tim Burton Batman movies as well. There's just something about
Yes.
that decaying city teamed with those backdrops. It just you can't help but lose yourself in it.
Yeah.
And obviously, you got another footage. This is obviously stock footage from another noir movie. And I'm a bit of a novice on noir movies, even though I do like the.
No, so actually
Policing of people, yeah.
that part, the car going on that's actually new footage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh man, damn! I thought it was like to be honest, I almost thought it was one from one of Edward Woodward's B movies because I'm sure I saw a scene that looked very similar.
Yeah, well, again, they're copying a lot of things that they do, but if you look hard, you can tell that that's actually shot in the modern film.
Yeah, and right now we've got a nice bit of a little spoof on the exposition that kicks the story in gear. Like someone was murdered, and it's got this very stupid headline saying "noted scientist and philanthropist but was also a cheesemaker and father of three. It's
Blessed be the cheesemakers.
yeah, cheesemaker. That could be of anyone who works in dairy. Yeah, that's a good film. And there's like the business is so slow. He's rereading old newspapers.
Yeah, so it's not even current. This happened a while ago.
I love that. That is a very funny one. Yeah. So some days have already passed since the death of this guy, and then in comes and it's where we're introduced to our character played by Steve Martin, and I've got the bloody name now.
Rachel Ward.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Rigby Reardon.
Rigby Reardon. That's it. Bloody hell.
It's right there on the door.
Yeah.
It's just backwards.
Yeah, and here comes the very lovely Rachel Ward as
Juliet Forrest.
Juliet Forrest, that's it. Yeah, fucking, my brain is shit today.
Oh, I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah, look at her. God, gorgeous woman, man. Look at her.
And again,
she's
perfectly cast.
I know.
Yeah, that classic 40s, vamp kind of, and the way that, I mean, she plays it so well.
Yeah. And then she faints, and you see fucking Rigby getting a little bit fucking Harvey Weinstein on her.
Yeah. Well, I love he's holding her, and then he like shakes her around a bit, like, I'm gonna try and wake her up, but she's still in my arms.
Yeah, no, I remember Marlowe's words: "Do not fall in love with the client."
Yeah,
it's like, there's a lot of them do, don't they, in these movies. So one of them actually has to spell it out to his own.
I also want to know: is it Marlowe or him that's doing the needlepoint for these little signs?
Yeah,
right. Which one is it? These hard-boiled detectives are sitting there doing their needlepoint.
Yeah, business is slow. They're not just rereading old newspapers. They're doing fucking needlepoint.
Yes.
Yeah. They fucking grow up so a little bit. It's like, what? Yeah, it's adjusting your breast. They're all out of whack. And
yeah, when he fell down, they were all out of whack. And then he pulls back and, does like the square up. Oh, they're good now.
Yeah. Once again, he plays it straight, but you can... It still feels a little bit like a Carl Reiner absurdist movie. It sounds like a line from what could be from a Carl Reiner movie that he did with Steve Martin.
Yeah, again, this is very much the kind of thing that Reiner did with Mel Brooks, where it's the most absurd lines or the most absurd situations, but they are playing it absolutely deadpan as if this is totally serious.
Yeah, some of these I can sort of see Leslie Nielsen delivering some of these lines as well. Especially with the women breaking your heart monologue, which comes up later, but. And we get nice little jokes as well, like with the trick with the cigarettes, and he seems to be really fucking good. He's like a magician with that stuff. Like
he is actually. He's an amateur magician. That's one of his talents.
And we found out the name, and he's calling her Dollface because that's like 1930s noir kind of nickname.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't just a cheesemaker as well. Like he starts to learn there's a bit of a conspiracy, because that's always the case, isn't it? These cases are never just simple.
No, nothing straightforward in a noir movie.
Yeah, and once again, you got the reoccurring line: "You can have a cup of my famous
Java." But so look at The Office, right?
Yeah.
So this was done, the production designer, he had done a bunch of noir films and was still active. In fact, I'm pretty sure he ended up doing Ghostbusters and some stuff even into the 90s.
I can sort of say like Ghostbusters, because the office does look very, very old, doesn't it? I mean, like, they've got all this old furniture and desks,
all the old Art Deco stuff and all that, right? And
they probably got because the characters are kind of on a budget, aren't they? So they probably just went down to the nearest fucking second-hand bargain basement shop and just bought whatever cheap furniture they could. So yeah,
well, they actually had to do quite a bit of work to try and find the architectural pieces for this to match up to the era and the films that they were tying into. And there are definitely some shots later on where they literally found the exact same moldings, door moldings and wall moldings that were in the shot, so that when you see, the old film character on one side of the wall with the molding, and then you see him on the other, it's the exact same matchup.
Yeah, so yeah, 'cause I kind of miss the days when people
Gave
fucking
a shit.
yeah, they gave a shit. They really wanted to get that look because these days they'd probably put some kind of modern twist on it these days, and
Oh, it'd just all be green
it's
screen, and
stupid. Yeah,
we'll just and we won't have you interacting with classic film. We'll just take the characters from those and put them into the modern day or something, and it'll all be
yeah, I
CGI.
know, and yeah, because I mean, even though this is like a bit of an absurd comedy, they're still trying to make it look and feel like a classic film
Oh,
noir.
it's a love letter to noir.
It really is, yeah, and it really does. Yeah, they really fucking really do bring it to life as well.
Yeah, all of the costumes are handmade by Edith Head. So, and again, she was there making this stuff for those movies. So, you're going right to the source.
I know costumes these days look so fucking shit today in movies. They look like the kind of cosplay you get from one of those really cheap
Spirit Halloween or
Chinese
something. Yeah.
sites.
Yeah, well, or or you get Rings of Power where they wear T-shirts with like male prints on it because now we can't be bothered to actually make ring mail.
God, fucking hell, what is happening with modern media today?
Well, I think it's full of incompetent people.
It really is. It really is. I mean, they don't seem to know any fucking context. I mean, you seeing like characters in the 30s who have like British names, but they're played by people who are like fucking Spanish or something, even though we barely had that. It's like, yeah. So, and yeah, obviously we've come to a clue that leads to why this isn't just a simple case of a bad accident. Like it's part of a list, and it's just this fucking shitty little corner
of a dollar bill. Yeah,
it's like, that could be anything, but it's like, no, just go with it. Go with it. It's
yeah, there we go.
yeah, I know, and he's obviously he's
he's a bit
yeah,
suspicious. There's like, really, lady, you deducted a
It's
giant conspiracy and murder off of this.
Yeah, and obviously he's letting her know like he's going to take the case and it'll cost her and plus expenses, all that stuff. And yeah, she obviously wants this case solved, so she'll pay him in advance. And I love this line as well. For $200, I'd shoot my grandmother. It's like, that won't be necessary.
I love the next line.
I threw my own brother out of a plane.
I had to throw my own brother out of an airplane.
Yes, it's because that shoot your grandmother is just like a figure of speech, isn't it?
Yeah, but no, everything is literal with him. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, and when he uses metaphors and figures of speech, they are a bit odd. They don't match up with what most people do.
Yeah, I wonder if I don't know if this came out around about the same time as Police Squad did, because that was kind of like the same, wasn't it? A little bit, only a little.
Yeah, so this was shot in 81 and it came out in 82, so it would have been a bit before Police Squad, but it would have been after Airplane.
Yeah, so I think they probably did. I wouldn't be surprised if they got a little bit of inspiration from this, but decided to still make it a little bit wacky and.
Well, that's why we were talking, DMs a few days ago, and I said, can you imagine if they did Airplane like with Leslie Nielsen and other people doing the straight, but they were actually using clips from 0 Hour and mixing it in, right? And then you would essentially end up with this.
Because it's Airplane was basically like line for line, but with a few like jokes, but people taking things too literally and
right.
And obviously he wants a bit more information because he's a detective, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And let's get the screen back on.
Main screen turn on.
There we go. Takes a while sometimes, but yeah, he always gets there.
That's what I tell my wife.
Damn, oh man, this is very slow today. Here we go. Yeah, so obviously, what is it? Yeah, I'm just trying to fucking get my head around this film a little bit here. Oh yeah, so it's found out about
gonna go to her dad's.
Dad's apartment, and he's wondering, what's he doing around then? It's like, well, it's to hide the cheese smell, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the area's so fucking bad, like no one will notice if his cheese is fucking
No, they
off.
don't complain.
I know. And I love this line as well. He's on my way to the firehouse row. I try not to think of her because she reminded me of the case where he had solved the murder of the woman with the big tits.
Yeah, the murdered girl with the big tits. Yeah. It's just, everything is so literal.
Yeah. And the room smelled
and
like...
I love this. It smelled like the number on the door.
I love that. Once again, and this is where we come up to a footage that's inserted where a character from an old noir is put into this film just to give Steve Martin some material to work with. Yeah, and she's like, obviously, this scientist bit on the side, isn't she? So he's found a clue and he's found a list of people that he has to come by, and that's enemies of Colata.
Yes.
Yeah, now he has to find out about a woman called Kitty Collins, and
here comes Alan Ladd.
Yep, Alan Ladd. I've seen him in Shane. That was another great film with him. Brilliant actor. And obviously,
but again, if you anybody that's watching this, watch it through once or twice because it just to kind of get it. But once you do that and you want to start paying attention to the details, I mean, look at the wallpaper, look at the door that Alan Ladd goes to because he's already been there, right? Steve Martin's already been there. It's the same door. It's set up the same way, right? They really worked hard to make sure that these, the continuity and visuals matched.
Yeah, no, it's like something you don't notice. It's probably one of those details you don't notice till you watch it a few more times. But I like this as well. He comes in and is like, "Here, take a cookie."
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they're good. Go ahead, try one.
Yeah, no.
And they're both chewing cookies at the same time.
Yeah, and obviously to be exterminated, you have to enjoy killing things. And
Alan Ladd smirks and
he shoots, and he just does that fucking weird little pose to dodge the bullets, and but he gets injured anyway and has to play dead.
Yeah, so see the molding on the door and everything? They match on both sides where Alan Ladd is.
God, they really fucking worked hard to make this just look right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta give props to me. Plus, Carl Reiner was a competent filmmaker, even though he made these very absurd movies with these weird jokes. It's like, yeah, he kind of got to be a genius to do something stupid as well.
Yeah.
And that's so there is a method to the madness.
Yeah, and again, but the dedication to the detail, right? That they love these noir films. They love this time and everything that's going on, and then trying to match everything up. And again, bringing in all of the people, that have been in the business for 40 years.
Yeah, and we do get, and obviously he takes the list, so he has to get back to Juliet Forrest, and here's Carl Reiner as the butler, and he's kind of like goes onto the trope like the butler did it as well, which we will not find out till later. But he's now injured, and
he's been shot in the arm.
Yeah, and I love the face he pulls as well, where he's about to faint. I mean, that's like
he's like I've been shot in the arm. Yeah. May I say by whom? I don't know.
He's like, catch me. He's like,
catch me.
I'm a butler.
I'm a butler.
Not a catcher.
Not a catcher.
Yeah, Carl Reiner, a very funny guy. Rest in peace, man. And we get another recurring joke.
Wait, isn't Carl Reiner still alive?
No, I think he died a couple of years back. I think he was in his 90s. It was
I know, but I think him and Mel Brooks are still alive.
Yeah, Mel Brooks is still alive, though. Jeez, he's still going.
Oh, yeah. Well, and see, every day those two would meet up and eat together.
Yeah, I can sort of see that as well, because these are both guys that were kind of a master of the craft, especially in the art of comedy.
And they came up together. They were writers on Sid Caesar shows, and prior to that, they did some stage work early on. But they were in the same writers' room, and they just became lifelong friends.
Yeah, remember that? I love that line in The Simpsons where Homer's driving Mel Brooks, and he starts freaking Mel Brooks out, and Chief Wiggum's like, "Hey, how about you with Mel Brooks? I'll be Carl Reiner." He was like, "You know what? I'll be Mel Brooks. I fucking hate Carl Reiner." Yeah, something like that.
Known him for 60 years, and I hate that son of a bitch.
Yeah, Nick. I think Mel Brooks needs to make some new movies in his unadulterated style. I would love to see him make a new movie. I mean, fucking like if Clint Eastwood is still making movies in his 90s, I don't know if Mel Brooks would still have it in him unless he's still doing stage work.
Yeah, I was trying to think. Has Brooks made anything since Anne Bancroft died, his wife?
I don't know. I know I think he did a lot of like stage plays, and that's about it.
Right, because he did the revival of The Producers. But
Yeah,
I can't remember if she was still alive when he did that or not.
yeah, man, fucking hell. They seem to have been a real good couple.
Oh, and my God, talk about a guy that married way above his level. And
Yeah,
Bancroft was smoking hot, and Mel is
yeah,
not.
she was, man. Back in, especially in The Graduate. I mean, she was getting older, but fucking hell, she still looked great.
Yes.
And we got another recurring joke with the bullet being sucked out, and and she plays it so well. She plays it so dead straight as well.
Yes. And again, but that sultry seductress kind of thing. She's got that smoky voice.
And they were say this like she learned it at camp and it was really for snake bites, but she's found it for other uses.
Yeah, I find it works for everything. And I was like, yes, it does, honey. Yes, it does.
Yeah, so then we found a bit more about. So the guy was probably Kitty's boyfriend then, because I'm still trying to
Swede
follow
and
the plot, even
Kitty.
though probably it doesn't matter. I don't know, but he gives him another lead to follow, and it cuts down to another moment where he may be able to find another clue, and that's another list about where the rest of that list is, and that's in the sugar bowl, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I love that little joke as well. Where it's like,
why?
Like, no, Samuel Hastings.
Right there. No, that's SHH. And again, she doesn't like mock him or anything like that. It's just a straightforward. Oh no, she's correcting him in a genuine way.
Yeah,
right?
I know because because she knows something that he doesn't, and she's helping him to try and get this case cracked.
Right, and again, that's the one of the reasons that comedy like this works is because the actors commit to the role, right? They commit to that character and what it is. There's no ironic wink at the camera, everything's sarcastic, nobody takes it seriously, because if you did that, then this would just turn into a shit show. But it's because the characters in this absurd plot and some of these absurd dialogue lines or whatever, they are absolutely playing it dead serious. That they don't give an inch on it.
I know, and we get another good moment as well with Barbara Stanwyck as well. And,
yes.
I've like I said, I'm not familiar with what film they're using, but I know it's they use it as a way to play with some kind of crazy woman with who's just incredibly hysterical, and they think she's a hypochondriac and she's faking it. It's like, this phone call I'll find out why.
Yeah, I'll know immediately when she says hello, and he's like, she's faking it.
Yeah, and after one word, if she is, she just says hello. That's it.
Yes, that's all he needs is hello.
Yeah, you don't fuck about. It's just faking. Yeah, but I like Barbara Stanwyck. I liked Remember the Night with her and Fred McMurray, who does pop up later as well.
Indeed, he does. And that one, Fred McMurray, that's from Double Indemnity.
Yeah, I guess that one, because I mean, it's on my list, and I'm looking forward to watch it. It's just trying to catch up on other things for other streams as well at the moment. So
all of the movies that they sample for this are classics you should watch. The Killers,
I know.
I've
watched a bit of Maltese Falcon. I've watched The Big Sleep. And I've watched more of the more recent noirs like LA Confidential, obviously, but it's the old ones I really want to get to watch some more.
Yeah, it's the I've always said that the like Blade Runner, despite being a really cool sci-fi story and all that stuff, the thing that I give Ridley Scott tremendous credit for is that to do noir properly in color is very difficult, right? In black and white, you can use the shadows so much and kind of hide things within them, right? It's that German expressionist way of shooting things. But when you add color, it really complicates things. And Scott managed to pull it off, and I think that L.A. Confidential, at least in tone, maybe not so much in some of the shots, but at least like the tone of the story is very noir.
Yeah, because like I said, because it's going back to an old time that's kind of an old time with like these rose tinted glasses, and because the look is so unique as well from that time, you can't help but
Yeah, so an interesting thing about the especially like the people that worked in this era of film in black and white, you would see a lot of them walking around with like either a monocle or a single lens, or in the case of Edith Head, a pair of glasses, and they were blue tinted. And the reason they wore that is that that blue tint would match up with how the colors would wash out in black and white, so you could actually gauge, how things would actually pop based on the film that you're using.
Yeah. Plus, you mentioned something about all the shadows in black and white, and it does create a nice mood, doesn't it? I mean, it really does sort of get you into this murky world, and
yeah, the hidden darkness, the hard shadows, the where those shadows fall, right? That's all part of a German film movement. It was German expressionism, and it goes back to Fritz Lang, and then a lot of those filmmakers ended up coming over to the U.S. when certain angry people took over in Germany, and just brought with them that style, and that's how we ended up with film noir.
Yeah, you gotta love that old school thing, and yeah, this is such a fucking funny scene as well. As like he calls her a fruitcake, and then he's like, "Listen, I'm sorry I called you a fruitcake."
Sorry, I called you a fruitcake.
Yeah, I'm going ahead of it. I'm going up ahead here, though. But obviously, she's like in denial, like her father's dead, and he's getting a bit impatient with her. And
yeah, I had a long talk with him just a while ago.
I don't have time to listen to. All right, don't listen. Who cares? And she puts the phone down.
Your sister really needs some phone etiquette, man. Lessons.
Yeah, that's such a ridiculous line, though, but damn, he plays it so straight.
And again, after he called her a fruitcake.
Yeah, and the best thing they can do is find out about a dodgy check, but then she brings up this other thing about leave a message with the butler or the cleaning woman, and it just sets him off, doesn't it? And this is where Steve Martin goes really Steve Martin here. He pulls the Steve Martin face, the Steve Martin outburst, and he tries to fucking kill her.
Yeah, and I love when he's doing the choking when he really gets crazy. He sounds like a monkey. We just goes yeah. Right when he's doing it. So hilarious.
And we learn a bit about his tragic backstory. He was 7 years old, and his dad ran off with a cleaning lady. It's
mother died of a broken heart.
Yeah, it's so fucking ridiculous, but it makes it funnier the fact they play it so straight.
Yeah, it's perfectly serious. And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. That must be terrible or whatever." Again, she just got choked the fuck out, but no, she's sympathetic to him. Yeah,
yeah. Women were about more forgiving towards men beating them back then. So they were
God, I love this line too.
Yeah,
everything was cheap, cut rate. Even the prostitutes were having a sale.
And yeah, the check was so dodgy that it bounced off to over 5 fucking addresses.
The whole place. It used to be on 9th, but now it's on 5th because they took so many rubber checks. The whole place bounced across town.
Yeah, we come by another person on the list who has the dollar note with the list on, and
yeah. Now this clip is from Lost Weekend.
Yeah, and it's basically taking scenes from an old film and removing context just to make it work for the dialogue here.
Right.
Very cleverly done.
Right, except that they were taking the clips and they're like, okay, here's what we got to work with. What can we do dialogue-wise to match this? Right? They work backwards from these clips instead of starting with the story.
Yeah, and it still manages to be pretty well. I mean, it probably does make the plot a little bit more confusing, but because the jokes work so well and every actor plays it so well, you do sort of forgive it and you just kind of go along with the just the jokes, especially the fact that they're using clips from very serious movies as well and
Yes.
just making it funnier.
Yes,
Because I think the
by
word,
being
yeah,
serious but saying absurd things, and
yeah,
think of the time that they had to spend, not only watching the clips.
yeah,
Okay, these are the ones we're going to do. Then reverse engineering a script, then going through that script and tightening it up and tightening it up. Whereas now it's like, what script? No, we just go film things on the green screen. They'll fix it in post.
yeah. Green screen, it can work for a lot of things, but it's used way too fucking much now. It's
Well, but so many
I don't
movies now
know.
they don't write a script. They don't
Yeah, I
they don't
know.
do storyboards. They just go shoot. And then they wonder why they have to reshoot the film 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, no, because back in the days they would do reshoots because they needed to establish something that was missing in the movie that could have really helped it. But now it's just like they go walk, then they get some backlash after some leaks, and then they go back and just try and fucking do damage control, and you can always tell. You can just
Yeah,
tell it.
or committee of execs were like, well, what if we had a pink elephant here? Oh, that's a good idea, Charles. We didn't film anything. What the dude? What? But
Yeah,
but you can't go back and go. Look, you had a chance to look at the script and edit it there. You had a chance to look at the storyboards and edit them there because we don't do any of that, right? We just go right to film thing.
I know. Because films don't look like they're well shot anymore either. Everything looks really cheap. Like it was done on a soundstage, even more than the old films that were shot on the soundstage.
Right, because
It
again, they
really it
don't
kills the
take the
immersion.
time
Yeah,
to draw it out first, to figure out how we're gonna what should this thing look like? How are we gonna implement that? And then do it, right? And the thing is, it's the cheapest and fastest way to make a movie is to actually do the hard planning up front, right? But
yeah,
instead,
because
it's we're gonna make it
it
up as
used,
we go
yeah,
along. Okay, well now it's gonna cost you a lot of money.
I know. And how the fuck are they still managing to get all this money after losing so much at the box office? It's do they have like connections to the Federal Reserve or Bank of
Well, no.
England or
So
something?
the thing. So in the past, you had like 20 or 30 studios, and most of them were literally just studios and distribution, right? But you had so much consolidation that there are like 6 companies that own all of the movie studios now, and so like Disney can lose their butts on movies because they make it from the parks, right? Because they're getting revenue streams from 8 different ways. The problem is that you screw up enough times and you start to affect those other revenue sources, which is exactly what Disney is suffering now. And good luck trying to pull yourself out of it, right? So what you see is things that would have killed a studio in the past in like a couple of years. Now, because they have so much more avenues of assets and revenue and all that, they're still going to die. It just takes longer to bleed all of the money and revenue away.
Fucking hell, man. So they've got way too much money to burn. The amount of
Yeah,
money
but
they
the
could
thing
use
is,
for
like
that.
when one of those companies goes down, you lose like 5 or 6 studios, right? Because they're all under. You'll lose. So if Disney goes down, you lose Marvel, Pixar, Disney, Fox, Searchlight, right? All of those studios that are under the Disney umbrella, they'll all go down when that company goes down.
Yeah, well, they're made their bed though. They're
Yeah,
still doing it. They're still making the same fucking mistakes,
yeah. I
and
mean, if you insist on failing, well, far be it from me to get in your way. You go right ahead, sir.
I agree. Could not agree more.
Oh yes, this is
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. This it was it. Fuck FOC. It's like it's slang word when a man and a woman are in love, and it's like no FOC.
No, no, it's
It's
FOC. And he doesn't like react like, oh, I made a mistake. No, it just takes that in and immediately switches to trying to solve that.
yeah, and it's God. The day shots are well shot as well. I don't know if this was on location, but they managed to find a real good spot that
So the
doesn't look like
vast
it's not
majority
modern.
of this was shot on soundstage in Culver City, which is where again most of the classic movies were shot. But there are outside shots in the LA area, and this would be one of them.
Yeah. So yeah, and then obviously they found out what it means, friends of Coletta, and yeah, he does that trick with the cigarettes as well with his ear, and yeah, you think that's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, once again, this could be a joke from the Zucker brothers as well.
Oh yeah. And again, and much like Airplane, you had to have people that were playing it. They were serious, playing their roles straight in an absurd situation, saying absurd things.
Yeah, because it's a good little role reversal here because Steve Martin was more of a comedy actor, yet he's playing him
Right.
straight. Well, in the Airplane movies, all the actors were well known for playing roles very
Yeah,
dramatically.
Robert Stack was not known for his comedy chops.
Yeah,
Leslie Nielsen, despite being personally funny, was always serious bad guy or heavy or whatever in his movies.
yeah, and I never come across Kitty Collins. And it's very funny. Obviously, they take the context out of the original film, and they put this joke where he's just pretending to be this movie maker, this movie guy, and he's
Gonna
making
make
a
a boxing
boxing
movie.
movie. Yeah, and it's like the thought of men beating up each other makes me ill. And he's like, "Well, I do religious
Also
pictures
doing a
too."
Bible picture, yeah, Saint Betty.
Actually, I have no idea. Probably tons of fucking movies were contributed to this scene.
I think it's like between 8 and 10. Um, what they because they essentially, so if they just went with the vast majority, they would have some real problems trying to have recurring scenes with characters and stuff like that. And so the I'm pretty sure it's between 8 and 10.
Yeah, fucking hell. So yeah, but they must have gone through fucking tons of movies and
Oh yeah.
see which ones could work because man, that is a lot of work to do. But it paid off though. It's delivered a very funny movie. But I don't know, was it a big hit when it came out, or was it only
No,
just becoming a cult
it
classic?
actually, no, it was much like a lot of really classic movies in this time frame, because this comes out in '82. That's a rough year to come out, right?
Yeah,
Because
fucking
Blade
loads of
Runner
those
and The
fucking.
Thing lost money.
Yeah, Blade Runner as well. Blade Runner was kind of a flop as well. But then again,
Yes.
that was when it was the theatrical version with the voiceover, and yeah, and the happy ending as well, which was really stupid. And
Yeah. Yeah.
now I've already discussed that with God King, and
Yeah. But you had The Thing. You have E.T.
uh,
You have Tron. Right. There are a lot of big budget experimental movies that flop in this year that end up being cult classics.
yeah, man, 82, man, all these fucking hell, tons of films that flopped, and like you said, cult classics now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think no, Scarface was a year later, but that was another film that flopped as well, and now it's like this gangster, this crime classic.
Right. And there's an interesting kind of this is an era the like for like 3 or 4 years, like right around 79 to 83 or 84, there are a lot of noir and noir influenced movies that come out for some reason. Because you have Johnny Dangerously, you've got this, you've got Blade Runner. There's just kind of this, for some reason, the zeitgeist kind of all collides, and people go, yeah, let's do some noir stuff for a bit. Okay, we're done. Let's move on to something else.
Yeah, and I love this as well, where
Oh, he burns the whole.
it's tailored to a restaurant the next day, and his cigarettes going through the fucking menu, which
Yes.
does make me laugh. Because he's like these detectives are always smoking. They're like chain smokers or alcoholics, and he's going to be smoking all the time. And she gets rid of the brooch, and he knows it's very important, so he tries to
Yeah.
get
And
that.
he knows where
Yeah,
she put it.
I'm from the health department. There's
Yeah.
complaints about brooches in your soup.
Yeah. Jewelry, too much
It's
jewelry.
really
Yeah.
soup, yeah. And then we found a list of enemies of Kalata.
And only one name left.
Yep, Swede Anderson.
Swede.
Yep, and it's looking
Yeah.
like he could be dead, but no, he's just fucking drunk out
No,
of
it's
his
just
skull.
Burt Lancaster, and he's
Yeah.
he's had a bit of drink.
Yeah, and I love this. God, this joke just goes on. I
Oh
mean,
Jesus, yes.
the guy's so badly wiped out. He has to give him all this
Yeah,
bloody coffee.
you need a cup of my Java. It's the whole bag of coffee grounds and 2 eggs.
I must have skipped this frame like 10 times to get these screenshots, and it was still going. It was that's so
And the
funny.
sound, right? You don't hear anything else other than the that pouring sound.
And obviously, they've another cut from the from one of the other movies, and you always get the heavies that realise you're on their tail and they're coming here to clean up the job.
Yeah, I believe this is from both the Lancaster and this shot are from the Killers,
Yeah. Ah, the Killers.
which
Yeah,
I think is
Lancaster,
also
wow.
the Alan Ladd. I think the Alan Ladd clip is from that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, Bette Lancaster was very, very young back in then.
Oh yeah.
And once again, he gets fucking Bette Lancaster gets killed. He gets shot in the same arm again.
In the same hole.
Yep, and she sucks the bullet out. And this is obviously a recycled shot, but it just makes the joke funnier.
Yes.
They're kind of going around these cycles a bit again, aren't they?
Well, and when he gets shot the second time, he goes, "Oh, that's never going to heal," because he keeps getting shot in the same exact bullet hole.
Oh, what's a minute? Just need to plug my laptop in. I forgot to do so. Give me a second. Battery goes low.
Take your time, doll face.
Yeah, there it is. It's been a bit of a busy day, so didn't even get a chance to advertise my stream on Facebook. I've only just done it on Twitter about a couple of hours ago. So here we go.
Yeah, I did one. So I did one earlier, and then I did one 20 minutes out from the stream. So
yeah,
but there's a lot of streams going on right now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, because we're talking to a lot of YouTubers, and I'm still trying to find time to let them know I'm up for guest spots with others, and I just don't know if I can always find the time for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to get videos done as well. I've got loads I want to get done in advance. So yeah, he's ringing up his old partner Marla, played by the legendary Humphrey Bogart.
Yes.
I mean, God. And it does lead to a nice little joke about the tie as well.
Yes.
And he gets the name wrong as well. It's like,
yeah. Oh, Bernie? No, it's me.
It's Rigby.
yeah. I haven't even had breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast. You're late for lunch.
Yeah, it's 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice wear a tie, for God's sakes.
Yeah. And it looks like the key to all these lockers in the station. God, he really jumps to one hell of a conclusion as well, where the key locker is.
The clue is like, I mean, when he explains the answer, you're like, okay, but I'm not sure how he got there to begin with. I mean, it makes sense in retrospect.
Yeah. It is, but it's very funny. It just makes it funnier. It does.
Yeah, and again, it's just a hunch, right? He doesn't say it like with certainty. It's just, well, I've got these PI instincts that always seem to come up roses, no matter how ridiculous his hunch is.
Obviously he's getting feelings for her, but no, he's like, but he's a man, he's a detective. The family life isn't for him because he's
sleazy, that's all monologue that's going on in his head.
Yeah, she already knows what he's thinking as well. She just says it out loud.
Yeah, it's like she's been reading his mind the whole time. Yeah.
I think Fairy Rocker's done a couple of jokes like that as well, where someone's thinking somewhat and the person actually responds to what they're thinking, and they take them by surprise. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You just need, if you want to ring me, all you have to do is put your fingers in the hole and make tiny circles.
Make tiny little circles. Yeah, that's such a great mockery of the, do you know how to whistle? You just put your lips together and blow.
Yeah. So it's a very sexual innuendos that were very hidden back in the days, but they knew what they were saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and again, that she's playing this so well, right? She already has the looks. She has that seductive movement, that smoky voice, and boy, is she really turning it on when she gives that line.
Yeah, and I like the way he's cleaning his gun. I mean, I don't think that's how you should clean a gun.
You don't normally, maybe black powder, you would do that, and then you would have to go and oil it and all that, but no. Just going to clean it in the kitchen sink.
Yeah, once again, with the fucking tie, clips out of context, and it just brings it just leaves more room for funny lines like this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you can wear it with brown. It's like it's just a stupid line. Once again, he needs Marlowe to check out the names to find out what the dead ones mean, and then he gives him this fucking clip on his
clip-on bow tie.
Yeah, and he's off to get the key, but now there's a pinstripe gentleman that's following him. So
yeah, and this handsome lad will.
Cary Grant.
Yes.
He's found another address, and now he has to get the fuck out of there. And he's hoping he can throw him off. And then comes the joke with the toilet paper, and yeah.
Well, it was actually it was a seat cover.
You know? Yeah. And I do like this little joke as well, coming on with the smoking, and oh yeah, this is a very funny one as well. Like he accidentally fucking grabs him. It's like,
yeah, he comes in, he's searching him, yeah.
And apparently they're playing off like Cary Grant's playing it casually, stalking him when really that's not the case. And
no, not at all.
Yeah, and he's like, he's not a big fan of smokers, and he's like, do you smoke? And he's like, no, I have tuberculosis. And I was like, oh, thank heavens for that.
Oh, thank heavens for that. Yeah, but look at how the seats match.
Yeah, it does.
Right, when they go back and forth, they really put in the work.
Yeah, got that little white stripe going over there as well from the seam. And I love how he's not knocking him out; he's putting him to sleep with by playing the harmonica.
Playing the harmonica.
Yeah, this is definitely Carl Reiner and Steve Martin upset to you. But it works, though. It works.
Yeah, it's lighter than an accordion and better than sleeping pills.
Yeah, and he gets all the taxes out of the way, so no one could. So
that's a great one where he's like, yeah, here's $10. You know, I need to get there in 10 minutes. This taxi just takes off without him, and then he goes to the next one.
Yeah, and this is where you can really see the aspect ratio has been zoomed in because the film looks even more grainier, doesn't it?
Yeah, and really kind of blurred.
Yeah, but it can't always be helped, though. And obviously he's trying to find out more from Ingrid Bergman, and obviously she's going to be the one that plays him and spikes his drink. And I love this little joke as well. Like, he's like, "Do you want to have some time alone?" It's like, "I'll have to think about it."
I'll think about it. Then immediately, everybody get the fuck out. I'm done. Oh, she's a fast thinker.
Yeah, Ingrid Bergman, man, what a beauty! Fucking love. Especially in Casablanca, she was really
I mean, so many of the women, you know, that they use in these clips are all attractive. You know, the men are, you know, other than maybe Fred McMurray and Vincent Price, but you know, Alan Ladd is a handsome sumbitch. Burt Lancaster is a sexy bitch. I mean, it's just, you really see, and again, you're right when we were talking about that Steve Martin really does fit into this because he kind of has those classical looks to him.
Yeah, and he's got a very good way of delivering his lines as well. A very old school kind of like voice that you don't hear these good little distinctive voices anymore these days. Right. We hear a lot of mumbling in movies as well.
Well, it's because nobody's really trained anymore.
Yeah, no, and you kind of got to have a good big booming voice as well, like a voice that really captures your audience.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is so many of these, like the classical actors would have done stage work, and you learn to project your voice to have a strong voice doing that.
Yeah, I can never hardly hear anyone fucking speaking movies anymore. I have to put the subtitles on. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, she spiked his drink, and the effects are really not agreeing with him. He's like, he felt like a dog, and he started fucking backing.
Well, I also love my tongue felt like it had hair on it, which is a thing you kind of say, you know, like when you get that you woke up, you know, after drinking too much, and you're like, man, it just feels like fur in my mouth or whatever. Except that he takes it literally.
Yeah, he starts fucking
shaping his fucking tongue.
Yeah, what's it? Yeah. Yeah, this is pure fucking Carl Reiner absurdity as
Oh
well.
yeah.
It is. And Ingrid Bergman's just stolen the clue, and bang, he's like back to square one again. And he wakes up, he's all jumpy, and Rachel Warders rescued him, and yeah, she kind of saves his ass as well, but without making him look weak.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Funny how
because he because he pulls a gun on her here, and then he's like, she's like, how did you get here? And he says, I don't know. And she's like, you must have crawled.
Yeah, and his fucking knees are all scraped to bits. It's like, Jesus Christ. Even in black and white, that looks really painful.
Oh yeah.
It does. So she tries to give him a little alcohol, and he's like, "No, fuck that."
He points the gun at her again.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I absolutely sympathized with Rigby here, because my mom would be like, "Oh, we need to get the alcohol." Hell no, I'm fine. I don't need that stinging shit in my wound.
Yeah, and I love how it does. This actually seems like it could be a fucking competent clue as well, like something to do with the
the NYT AG 216 or something like that.
Yeah, and is he flirting with
she thinks it's a license plate, and he's like, "No, it's the New York Times." Oh yeah, hello, hot legs.
Yeah, it's a very absurd plot going on, but it's well worth it for the Steve Martin laughs and
well, and her was like, and what is she gonna do? And he's like, she is a he, and it just keeps right on going, calling him hot legs.
They found out a name that's about a cruise ship, and yeah, fucking hell, I was kind of losing myself a little bit on the plot a little bit, but because there is so many gags going on as well, like you don't always have time. So yeah, this is very much the big sleep at the moment.
Yeah, and it was her sister's husband. They're separated now, and of course Steve Martin's already talked to her sister.
Yeah, she's fucking crazy, and
yeah, but he then took a cruise to South America on that ship, and so that now they're kind of trying to tie things together.
Yeah, because it is kind of.
And the ship only once it came back, it never did another cruise.
Yeah, so like I said, I've only seen this twice, so I'm kind of doing a shit job, but at least you're here to at least raise the bar a little bit here. So,
well, again, this movie you can watch a lot, and you'll only just find more stuff.
Yeah, so obviously he's got Marlowe to check on the murders, and I don't like how he and they got to find out a blonde for this for the Fred McMurray character anyway. And because
he's a creep, he likes to.
Yeah, and it is very funny as well because it gives him an excuse to have some more of these like blonde starlets appear as well, and and lead to many other funny moments. And yeah, he gives this like thing, "Are you wearing a tie?" And he's wearing a tie, and he's like, "Goodbye," just fucks off.
Yeah.
And it is funny how he gets one of the blondes as well and tries to win over the father for her. As well.
Yes.
Yes. And yeah, she wants to do it, but you're not blonde enough, and she wants to get into it, but it's like, no, you're a client. I can't have clients do all that, and we come to another fucking silly joke as well.
He's got some needlepoint in his medicine chest in his bathroom.
Yeah, he's been. Yeah, you kind of get the sense this guy has been falling in love with clients way too many times, and he's only fucking suffered more for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously he's playing the I'm not really in love with you. You're just a client. There's no emotion between us whatsoever, even though there is. And the squeezing the toothpaste is fucking funny. It's there's obviously a little bit of sexual repression there between.
Oh yes. And then she slaps him when he talks about that. I'd like to rub her too. Smack, and then.
Yeah.
Then he's like, all I could think of was she's walked out with the toothpaste on her shoes.
Yeah, this one, I think this is with Lana Turner as well. And
yes.
And she's obviously someone who will do anything. She's very easy. And
she didn't know how to say no.
Yeah, it comes to this other joke as well. And, the words
Yeah,
I
the words
can't
I can't weren't
in
in
the
the vocabulary.
It's like, I want you to do something for me. I can't. Just walks off. It's
I
like,
guess she added them since the last time I saw her.
yeah, fuck this story. Just have the laughs. It's just fucking funny.
Oh God, it's great.
And then, yeah, it comes to the Doris character. Oh,
Yeah, I love that this
name
is the
escapes me
most
now.
honest relationship he's ever had, except that he
Yeah.
lied about his name in case she got pregnant. Betty Davis.
Yeah, Betty Davis. That's yeah, and I love the joke when it comes to the fucking stale bread and everything.
Oh yes, yeah, and the roast turkey.
she would toast it so no one would know how stale it was.
No, thanks. I gave up stale toast for Lent.
Then she feed it to the maid. And the cleaning lady fucking joke comes up and he just goes insane.
So this shot right here, this is what actually inspired them to come up with the whole cleaning woman bit.
Yeah, because the guy's wearing the same clothes in the original movie as well, isn't he? He's got
right. This is actually a scene from the movie. And then they kind of retroactively, okay, well, why would you be choking her or whatever? And then they come up with this absurd thing about cleaning woman.
Yeah. Because once again, then they managed to find a good way to have it as a setup for a very good, funny payoff at the end.
Right. And again, they start with this film clip, then they work back and create a script based off of it.
Yeah, once again, and it doesn't feel half-assed either. I mean,
no.
I know.
No, again, I can't imagine how much work they put into the script.
Yeah, this line is funny. I was too embarrassed to ask Doris for a favor.
I tried to strangle her.
It's like,
I mean, it just wouldn't be polite, really. You know, it's kind of bad form.
Yeah, come to a Silver Blonde, and this one I'm not that familiar with, to be honest. I know I'm really coming across really ignorant here on the classics, but yeah, who's this actress now?
Oh, I'm trying to remember which one this is. God damn it!
I almost thought it was like a really young Marilyn Monroe, but I thought, no, this can't be. This can't be.
No.
Obviously, he's trying to get her involved in the case to help him, but the only problem is her father's in the way, and he fucking hates him, and he wants to show what he wants to do, what he can do with his hands, and it's just these little shadow puppets.
Yeah. Learn some new tricks.
Yeah, a bit of Carl, once again, Carl Reiner is most absurd. Right?
That was Lana Turner that we were seeing before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Lana Turner.
Yeah, that's it. All right. I thought the other one was Lana Turner. Oh, was it Veronica
No, the other
Lake?
was Veronica Lake.
Yeah, that's it. Anyone told you your lips look like two succulent Brussels sprouts waiting to be bitten and buttered?
Plenty of men have.
Yeah, because we do get lines very similar to Latin those noirs as well, but they just make it a bit more ridiculous.
Right.
Make you think, wait, what the fuck did you just say?
Right. Again, the when he uses metaphors or whatever, they are always so ridiculous. And then everybody's just like, oh, of course. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And that you has like Chinese coins with dots and caviar. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah, and obviously it's like she's like the old flame as well, and they've had this past together, and
she's obsessed with him.
Yeah, and obviously he's trying to win her over, but he doesn't mean it. But
obviously he's got his fingers crossed, so it's okay to lie.
Yeah, it's obviously taking the piss out of the trope of the detective who's not an all-around good guy, and he will use people if he has to.
Oh yeah. But also that childish, thing where, well, no, I get takes backs because I had my fingers crossed.
Yeah, and they were just trying to find out what happened on the cruise, and what. Once again, the fucking lines are hilarious, but they seem very well. They seem to make sense within this world as well.
Yeah, because the thing about the noir stuff is they're always and the rain was coming down like a barrel that had been dropped off of the roof, or this, that, whatever. Those metaphors. They make sense. They're a little odd, but they make sense, within like classic noir. And he's just coming up with shit. It's like, what the fuck is that? But it sounds exactly like the kind of, internal monologue that Marlo would have,
Yeah, and once again, they started to use this line from a film as a very funny little joke as well to get their father to.
Oh God, this has such a great
soften
payoff.
up to him. Yeah. And then he comes in and obviously he brings out this really fucking adorable puppy. I mean, God, I want it. I don't.
Exactly.
He's making that little fucking puppy noises. It's adorable.
Yeah.
And
totally
it obviously doesn't. Yeah, and obviously it doesn't fucking work. He still fucking hits him, and he's like, don't contact her. And he's like, can I use her underwear to make soap?
Yeah.
And
I'd find you or kill you, and I brought you a puppy.
Yeah,
something you never had as a child.
It's like, pick that up, and it's like, all soft as steel.
Pick that up.
Oh, Nick's you're too sarcastic for that fucking comment. Oh man. Only because I get good guests.
Now pick that up.
Yeah,
you need to make your guests pick up. The dog dirt.
Especially since I have a dog as well, and thank God we have shit bags these days.
Yeah. Oh God, this scene, I love this as well. Well, do you want a puppy? And he gives to the one on the right, and then it goes, here's something for you. It gives it to the one on the left, and right as he's leaving, she opens it, and you hear her go, ew.
Yeah, and I like what it does with these heavies as well. It's like proper Three Stooges, and there was
because he references it. He's like, "What is the Three Stooges?" And then he actually does it.
Yeah, because there was almost going to have like clips from like comedies as well on this, but no, keep it straight from the film noirs, the proper dramatic ones.
Yeah,
yeah, because comedy on comedy, it doesn't seem to work, does it? It's like
no. Yeah, Kirk Douglas is just so menacing in this the whole time.
Yeah. And they grab him by the nose and just slam him into this fucking wooden.
Well, but look at the shots.
Yeah.
Right. These are all classic noir shots, right? You shot low, you shot from odd angles.
Yeah, it feels very Orson Welles a bit as well when he did The Touch of Evil. I mean, because he did those shots where the shots would be shot below to make Orson Welles even more fucking monstrous. Yeah,
this is very like Mean Streets kind of shots, right? The again, these angles, and I love the one where it's like there's a shot there where it's like almost above. Yeah,
because it almost feels a little tilted as well, like a Dutch angle.
It is. It's at an angle, and everything just feels crazy.
Yeah, because Atom Gray had like Dutch angles. Yeah, I agree. And usually Dutch angles were used a fucking lot in the Nazis, and to the point where it was annoying. And Dutch angles are supposed to sort of like give you a hint that something's off or something's not right here. But here it's done really well.
Yeah, again, it shows the violence and the fact that he's no longer in control, and so the world has kind of gone sideways.
Yeah, once again she tries to rescue him, and he accidentally fucking knocks her out.
Then he gets up and he's like, those animals, they hit her.
It's like
he's got to adjust her again.
Yeah, it's like, I gotta get you out of this case. It's causing you too much harm, and I can't live with myself if I do. And she obviously wants to close the case now because it's looking like she's actually starting to fall in love with him, and these dames are, especially in these movies, because you got to have a bit of it. Yeah. So now the only way he can do it is to disguise himself as a beautiful blonde. And
I love the opening bit where he's shaving his legs, and Steve Martin is a hairy man.
Yeah, he is. He was very hairy. I can't believe I didn't get that shot of his legs there. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
And yet, fucking God, he looks so ridiculous, but man.
Well, she's right. You don't look as much. I haven't turned on the charm yet. And I love how he just comes walking out, wide-shouldered and stomping, wide-legged.
But he does kind of have a logical reason. Yes, she's a client, and it would be unprofessional if he got her involved in that. She's his investment as well. But
Well, yeah, and
yeah.
what are you going to do if I lose? You know, because they've already had this confrontation once about the $10 a day. Is that all I am to you? And that's what he sees the thing in his medicine chest.
And this was apparently the shop is supposed to be a place called Swabs, which, from what I looked in the trivia, was actually where was it Lana Turner or Veronica Lake that was discovered there before?
Oh yeah,
yeah, discovered before doing their first film,
right.
and I like the look of her. And this is where they meet Fred McMurray and
Oh
Double
God,
Indemnity.
what's the name of his perfume?
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's get to it.
Because it's before. Because he
it?
said something about the.
I'm sure I had the show. Where was it? Ah, man.
Yeah, we missed it.
I didn't get it. Damn it.
That's all right. It's something absurd.
Yeah. It's aroma drool left to me like
fat to a mother-in-law.
Like I said, these lines could almost be a Naked Gun because he says stuff like a blind man in a urinal, I'd have to stay on my toes.
Yeah, exactly. Except his, in many cases, don't even make that much sense.
Yeah, he asked me to up to his place. I didn't play hard to yet. But he was more aggressive and he played like so he sacrifices a lot, he really does. wait, here it goes. Yeah, fondle me. That's it.
Fondle me. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So I did get the shot. Just didn't get the name of it.
Yeah.
And once again, he's going to make the drinks to spike him, and so he can get the information he needs. And 15 milligrams of
aphrodisiac, which is like aphrodisiac. I'm gonna knock him out with Viagra. I don't think that's a good idea, given Fred.
Yeah, that'll fucking kill someone. That'll kill someone. That's as far as
I think Fred may fuck you to death first because he's already pretty hot under the collar.
Yeah, Fred McMurray, great actor, man. Great actor.
And really one of the few times that he plays a bad guy.
Yeah, I think he was kind of an asshole in The Apartment, though, as well, wasn't he? I mean, he's a proper sleazeball in that one.
Yeah.
You really want to hit.
Yeah, there's really only a couple of them where he's like, whoa. Because, like, when I grew up, you know, I would see him on reruns for, like, My Three Sons or like, Disney movies like Flubber, you know.
Yeah, the Absent-Minded Professor. Yeah, because he seems like a really sort of sweet eccentric, doesn't he? And
right.
And Remember the Night as well with him and Barbara Stanwyck. He's actually a very good moral man, and who's kind of been put in this very sticky situation with a criminal that he's supposed to be prosecuting, but he's getting to know her.
Right.
And I might do a stream on that because that's a really good movie, a very, very heartwarming movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we found the passenger list on the MSN, and I think that's where I did start to find the plot a little bit more easier to follow after that, because because there's links to the crews as well on the list of names.
Right.
And he's trying to find everything on Jarrett, and Captain Jarrett says he was framed because he knew too much, but he refuses to divulge what he knew to anyone but his mother.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the help, headline.
Yeah, and this is from White Heat, and I have seen this movie, and it is a fucking good one. I love James Cagney in that movie.
Yes.
And once again, he has to be a fucking woman again.
Well, and he's with Rachel Ward, and he's like kissing her in front of the guards.
Yeah, and the guards are a little bit confused. Like,
they're like, "Hey, wait a minute."
I love her line delivery as well. I begin to think you love stuff like a woman. You know, I should have used this as a thumbnail. Just fucking him in that wig.
Yes.
I might do that next time. Just change the thumbnail. And yeah, obviously she reveals her feelings towards him, and that you crept into my gut. You got me thinking silly thoughts. And yeah, like, he does want to become an honest guy now, and that's always a trope with these detectives as well. Like, it's like their path to redemption, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, and it's always like most of them, there's the opportunity, but then it always escapes them and they're back to their grind. But they have this.
Yeah, why is Emperor? Yeah, because you're on a B-roll a lot, aren't you? Watching all
Oh
these
yeah.
fucking movies.
Because Neb is protecting me from Adam and his bad touch movies.
Yeah, and I'll try and see if we can get a bad movie one day, Lord, just to be an asshole.
Oh God, you bastard!
And yeah, once again, the romance and look on
Yeah,
that.
they're like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be the '40s guy, not the '80s.
Yeah, James Cagney,
Oh God.
fucking legend, man. I love the fact that he was just not this very conventionally tall, handsome guy, though. He was just this very stubby bloke, but he had this look to him, though, this attitude,
Yeah, just
charisma.
the attitude and the charisma.
Yeah, and him with Angels and with Dirty Faces, that's a really good one with him and Humphrey Bogart as well.
Yeah,
I need to watch
and well, the thing is that like anybody of certain size knows that it's always the little guys that are going to cause problems in a
that. Yeah,
bar
the
or
short
something
man
like that.
syndrome.
You know, yeah.
And just pretend I'm your man. Obviously, he's trying to find out a bit more about the connection between the Emerson and their friends Coletta,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, just play along, pretend you're crying. And he's like, yeah,
No, say something like, no,
yeah,
no, Ma, look, listen to me. You know, no,
yeah,
Ma, look, listen to me. Hey, that was good.
real good. It's like, yeah,
I
because he's
love,
genuinely saying that in the actual movie, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. I love the idea that Steve Martin's the one that's prompting him to say that, right?
Yeah, I can't believe I missed that line. A one guy woman. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, I've only seen this twice, and I will need to watch this a few more times. But I'm doing a film that I'm not totally familiar with. I thought, I could use the challenge to do something I'm a little bit unfamiliar with, but at least I'm having a guest who has seen this multiple times and does know this a bit more inside out. Does
Well,
really
and that
help.
was kind of I intentionally was looking for something that would be new to you to kind of introduce you to some something outside your wheel. I knew you would enjoy it, but when you said no, I hadn't seen it, I was like, oh, then that's it. We got to do this because it's a again like you kind of discovered the first time you watch it and you go, that was interesting, and then you watch the second time and it was like,
Yeah.
I'm seeing it now, and then the more you watch it, the more you see.
I know, because I'm really surprised I had to watch it twice to actually get it, because with the Carl Reiner stuff, I got straight away. I got the Jack straight away. I got the Man
Yeah.
with Two Brains straight away. I mean, it's just pure madness, but genius madness.
Yeah. Yeah, this is much more. Again, it very much plays into the noir tropes, the noir dialogue, the complex situation that you have to suss out that everybody's betraying everybody else, and it's a more complicated story.
Yeah, it's like deliberately convoluted as well, like the Big Sleep. But it's weird because even though it's a little hard to follow the plot, you kind of so engrossed in how the way these characters talk to each other
Yes.
and how they play off of each other.
Yeah, you
I think they'll
immerse
do it.
yourself in the world, right?
Yeah, because even I do sort of see a little bit of convolution in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, but I love the banter between Val Kilmer and Michelle Monaghan and Robert Downey Jr. so much that I will easily watch it. I don't care how fucking confusing the film gets in the moments.
Right.
And obviously he's undercover, but he's been betrayed anyway. And once again, we got more scenes from White Heat where he was escaping from prison, and
Yes.
I love this little bit. 5 hours later, I'd given up hope of going to a regular bathroom.
A regular bathroom again. Which means that trunk is getting pretty ripe.
Yeah. What's that, Nix? How much time have you have Edward Goodwin? I think they made a site for that list. I think it's called IMDb. Yeah. I did see a little bit on Wikipedia, but me being a fucking forgetful asshole, I forgot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I probably should have.
I've got some movies for you.
Yeah, once again, say want some gunshot.
Yeah, give me some. Yeah, help you breathe. And she's back.
Yeah, that beautiful mouth.
Yes, this line.
Yeah, lips around wasn't the only thing that was throbbing. It was like,
the only thing.
Yeah, it's his heart.
Our hearts were too.
Yeah, it's a good little way to play on your expectations.
Yeah, the setup and subversion.
Plan was to kiss every lip on her face.
Yeah, I was going to kiss her with every lip on my face.
Move her to the bed and fucking maneuver her and marry her and start the whoopee machine. And then she sticks her finger in a bullet. Yeah, and once again, she's going to get something for him. Well, let's go back again. Drugstore for his arm, to help with the pain, and obviously he gets a phone call from Barbara. No, it's not Barbara Stanwyck. It's someone else now.
No, that's Joan Crawford.
Joan Crawford, yeah. Obviously, an old flame who was obsessed with him, and it leads to a misunderstanding where she thinks that he's getting back with her, but he's not really.
No, she picks up the phone right as he's explaining to her what he said.
What he said to
Juliet, yeah. And she thinks that, this is just a line he uses with all women.
And you always get these little misunderstandings as well, where it all gets cleared up, and it was kind of a trope that seemed to get run to death. I think years after when they started doing it.
Yeah,
so you kind of know that they're going to get back together, and all this messing around is going to get cleared up anyway. So. And now, obviously, Juliet Forrest is going out on him now, and he obviously leaves him heartbroken, and it's a very funny heartbroken scene as well. It really is.
I'm just waiting for tears and rain to happen, but it doesn't,
I know, and I just love this shot as well. It really does feel like it really does look like this character is in despair. The way it's shot, the shadows hit his face. Everything.
Yeah, again, they are absolutely shooting this noir style, right? With the hard shadows, half of his face is in darkness. It's that visual storytelling that's just the light does so much of the heavy lifting.
And it just makes it funnier when he says all this. How they reach down your throat, grab your hat, pull it out. He just keeps going with it.
Throw it on the floor, step on their heels, spit on it, shove it in the oven, cook the shit out of it, and they pull it out, slice it into little pieces, slam it on a hunk of toast.
He just keeps
going. Serve it to you. They expect you to say, "Thanks, honey, it's delicious."
Oh God, they just have to. They just couldn't stop at it. They'll tear your heart up and stomp on it. No, they have to just keep.
No, it just keeps going. Yeah, again, all of his metaphors. They
have to emphasize the fucking cruelty of what women can be capable of.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, I love the part where he tries to give the pigeon Jack Daniels as well in the cap, and then the pigeon doesn't drink it, so he has to drink it out of the cap.
Yeah, and this time we actually get a little bit more of the plot development, and one of the names is actually a place. And and
again, this is the genius of this of how they put this script together. Is we've known from the very beginning, like Carlotta and the friends of Carlotta and the enemies of Carlotta, what the hell is this? And it's because it's actually referenced in some scenes from a movie, and they just work it backwards from there.
I know, because it must have been fucking hard to write as well, because how do you not fucking start picking apart your own movie doing that as well? Like, is this making this a bit too convoluted here, or am I making it a bit more confusing? Am I making this a jumbled mess?
Well, I think you have the benefit of two especially really gifted comic writers in Martin and Carl Reiner. And then you have, people that they are fans of noir. They understand how it flows, the beats, and how the dialogue should go, the ins and outs, the twists or whatever. But that they start from, here's some clips, and we're going to use these clips because it looks like we can, have some interaction back and forth between you and this person in this clip. And somehow we will reverse engineer from those clips an entire story, script, the Carlotta stuff, enemies of Carlotta, friends of Carlotta, and all of that. And again, they had to go through that script so many times.
Yeah, and it all comes forward as well. It does suddenly make the plot a bit more less confusing as well, because now
because you find out Carlotta's a place.
Yeah. And obviously he's got to travel to somewhere a bit more exotic now, and it does almost feel a little bit touch of evil in that kind of area as well.
Yeah.
And once again,
yeah. Now he's even though he's lost Juliet, he's now obsessed with solving this.
Yeah, because it gives him because it's kind of like something you do. It's like something you strive for anyway. Because you kind of, that's what I love about all these old school heroes. Even when they get knocked down, they somehow get up and still prevail and carry on, don't they?
Yeah, they don't just sit and wallow in their sorrows, for the next 10 years and
they aren't moaning on fucking TikTok about how heartbroken they are. They just sort of get on because this is hard times, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're hard men. They're like, all right, well then get off your ass and do something. If nothing else, give it enough time and it'll hurt less.
Yeah, I agree, Lennox. Yeah, redrafting over redrafting, not like today where writers can't spell a word script. Not to mention having one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And once again, everyone in chat, thanks for joining us. Mikey Jeffro, Nix, Toxic, and Atom, and let's go up a little bit more. Black Lars or Black Nars, fucking thank you for joining me and listening to me fucking stammer like an idiot trying to go through this film.
This film will fuck anybody up. You gotta. I've seen this, I don't know, probably 30 times, and there's still things that I catch when I watch it again where I'm like, oh, I don't know how I didn't see that before.
Yeah, and thanks for joining us as well, Fandad Menace. We'll try and do. I'm still thinking of what other stream to do here, but I'll get in touch with you again.
Yeah.
And we come to, once again. He says the name of the title because it was supposed to establish the name Dead Man Plaid did come from a little line mentioned that was deleted from the film. And let's have a look. What was it again? I think I got it on my phone. Let's have a look. That won't be a second. Here we go. The title refers to Martin's character telling a story about a woman obsessed with Plaid in a scene that was ultimately cut from the film.
And so they come up with this alternate thing with oh, he said this, and I still don't know what the hell it means.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter, though, has it, half the time? Because you've just been enjoying him interacting with all these classic film noir characters and starlets and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't know what it means. And he spells trouble real wrong as well.
T-U-B-I-L, and if you try to correct him, they'll kill you.
Yeah, and once again, we've got Kitty with, the women in these fucking movies were just downright gorgeous.
That's why I said, and again, a lot of the men as well, were that they're handsome, manly, and smooth.
Yeah, they don't look like boys; they look like men. They're like,
there's no Timothée Chalamet in this shit. Grown ass man in this.
I know. I don't mind him as an actor, but come on, I want to see more fucking actors that actually look like fucking men that could handle themselves in the fucking bar fight, shit like that.
That looks like they actually successfully got through puberty.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Nix. Yeah. Don't know about lovable, but yes, I am an idiot, but thanks anyway. And we come across this guy, and I've seen this actor a few times. He's in Dirty Harry, and he's very funny in this.
Yes.
I think he's more of a straight actor as well, because that is basically what I've always seen him in. I've seen him in Miami Vice a couple of times as well, playing different characters.
Yeah.
And there's obviously his little contact in this area trying to give him the lowdown on what's happening on where he might find the right person to get this case.
Well, and the best part is that what he's like, oh, Rigby, Reardon, and at first he calls him the wrong name because he doesn't remember him at all. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a good little local cop, but he's kind of an idiot as well.
He's very dedicated to Rigby.
Yeah, no, he's very loyal to him. He's very likable. I like him. And there is a good little joke with the pajamas as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Be careful for the fat one who sweats a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen.
She doesn't sweat as much, but she's just as dangerous.
This is dangerous.
That's an airplane line.
Yeah, Airplane's so fucking good. I did that a while ago, and we had such a great laugh. And I want to do more of these spoof movies as well, because you don't really have to be too analytic with them. You can just have fun, just get lost in the madness a little bit.
Yeah, I think like a good mix. This one, Airplane, and then one that isn't so directly parody, but it's certainly parody adjacent. Is Johnny Dangerously?
Yeah, and I like that joke as well. We're staying at the Hotel Guano, and we all know what Guano
Yes,
fucking
yeah.
means.
Well,
It's
and
like,
I love how it's always them and they. Who are them? Only they know.
yeah. These days, them would be one fucking person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they them. Oh God, I'm gonna look for the blue
Yeah.
haired with the shaved side of the head.
Yeah, yes, he's got these like trick coins as well, the fabs. Yeah. And obviously he's got our attention, and
Well, he uses
yeah,
that. He like pings it into the donation bowl or something, and she sees him, and that's what causes the fat one who sweats.
yeah. I've seen this actor a couple of times. I think he's voiced in a couple of Disney movies as well, because he's kind of got that very sort of hoarse voice. He sounds like a guy who really has trouble fucking walking around the place without.
Oh, you can tell by the nose that that man has drank a lot of alcohol in his
Yeah,
life. Yeah,
yeah. He's really lived hard as well.
yeah.
He's
He's got that
kind of
W.C. Fields.
voice.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, yeah. The Man of Short, Liberty Valance. He was very good in that as the incompetent sheriff.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously, he's like putting it for information. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this line that'll hear is like, you know who I could be, Hunchback of Notre
The
Dame. And
Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Yeah, because apparently he did play him in the 1930s.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So obviously he does a little deal with them, and
Yeah. My price for leaving Stinking Towns is 11,500. 10,000 is not enough.
yeah, and here we come to Kitty Collins, and she's obviously going to try and trick him later on, because you get those femme fatales that trick that they do like they make it look like they're on the side, and obviously they're still working for the bad guys.
Yeah, and he's only been drugged a couple of times, and
I know. He's here confronting her about it, and obviously he's sort of falling for it a little bit as well, because
it's hitting him in his weak spot at the moment because he's
yeah, because he's a bit vulnerable as well, hasn't he? He's sort of like suffered this rejection.
Yeah.
And obviously, Carlos is letting him know what's happening. Some more strangers have come in, and German. And yeah, this is where the plot starts to thicken a little bit, because we've got the final instructions as well. So something's going on, something big.
Yeah, well, the great thing is that Carlos was hired to protect these people, but he's calling Rigby going, well, I know this because I was hired to protect him.
Yeah, so obviously he's in with some a bad lot, though, but he's kind of good at heart. He wants to do the right thing. I'm guessing that's what I'm getting from his character a little bit.
Yeah, because it starts out that him and Rigby ran guns to the rebels. I don't know where the rebels were or what country this is, but they ran.
Yeah, because now he's
together, right?
now he's gone honest, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he still has that
obviously he's warning Rigby, because he knows millions of people are going to get killed for this. So yeah, he's doing the right thing. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
But too late, the line gets cut off. He takes the drink and once again tries to find out what's happening
with the Germans on him.
Yeah, and he gets spanked again. Yeah. I love the face Steve Martin pulls as well when he's like when something wrong goes for him.
Yes. Ethel Merman came on it. You want to go see Ethel Merman with me?
Yeah. Yeah, he's fucking hilarious when he's high on this. Yeah,
I've done brilliant things. Asking her to mix a drink was not one of them.
Yeah, he puts the pajama fucking top over his shirt. And then we've got Vincent Price here as well.
Yes.
Christ, yeah, I love Vincent Price. And there's obviously
that's why he has to put the pajama shirt on, because he has to match up with this scene with Vincent Price.
Yeah. Oh Christ, yeah. Because I mean, obviously him being high sort of makes sense because he's not thinking straight anyway. So of course he's gonna do something a little bit fucking random, and
Yeah, and then Vincent will go ahead
And
and
yeah,
give him the
you
old
always
pillow
you
to.
always get a guy who's going to kill the guy who's been sticking his nose in where it doesn't belong, and they're going to make it look like an accident as well.
Yeah.
And obviously, it comes to a clashing,
And Rigby
he's
manages to get the gun
yeah.
from Vincent Price, and I love that line. That was a warning shot. I don't fire as many as I used to.
Yeah, because he kills them all.
Well, because he's been having a bad few days. His tolerance
Yeah.
is evaporated.
Yeah, Vincent Price was pretty chunky back when he was younger. I don't know. Was it?
Yeah, he was pretty
Yeah,
good sized guy.
yeah, and they're chasing him all. Oh no, Kelsey's concerned about his fucking pajamas. Like, what the hell?
I don't need help with the pajamas.
It's the killer.
Senor, your pajamas. Forget the pajamas. And Carlos gets shot. Yeah. It's fine.
It's just a bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you better fucking take that out. You could go into shock, get fucking God knows how much infections. Like
no, his wife Carmelita will suck it out. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the women know how to suck it. Yeah.
And don't worry about the pajamas. I'll take care of them.
Yeah. And yeah, he takes down Vincent Price, and it's the old movie where you shoot them and they do that very dramatic fall to their death. And
yeah. Well, and again, but the matchup, right? Because they got to get the fireworks, similar between the scenes, right? The smoke between these two, right? The whoever was, I mean, again, the DP and continuity people were working overtime.
Yeah, and fucking hell, they're actually going in that area real close to these fireworks as well, which can be dangerous, even though they're probably just normal fireworks that you
yeah,
use.
They're just pinwheels, but well, this is a time where it's like, we're going to light you on fire. But no, we don't actually have any asbestos or gel or anything like that. Just run fast and roll around. Okay, well, that'll work.
Yeah, because I think that gel stuff didn't come around till after the 80s. I think I talked with Retro Polish about
70s. I was thinking is when when it showed up.
Yeah, but fucking yeah, because I kind of remember watching like the original Thing from Another World, and when they light him on fire, and it's just going up in flames the whole room, and you can really tell these guys are just ducking out the way to avoid getting burned. And
the guy that's wearing it is like in an asbestos suit. Right, to keep the direct flame off of him, but
yeah, people got really got into danger back in those days as well. It's I think that's why I like these old movies, because you really see they're putting their safety at risk doing half the stuff just to entertain us.
Yeah,
I love it. And obviously we come down to the plot, and it's a fucking Nazi plot, because you need Nazis in these old movies, especially if it's a movie that's set during near the end of World War II or just after the end of World War II.
Yeah.
And you finally get to what the plot is all about, and it's just so fucking ridiculous. And obviously he thinks she's in on it and that she's been betraying him, but he holds them up to take a fucking class picture. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Just plays it so straight, and it's like, no, smile.
That guy up in the upper right. Everybody else looks like they have constipation. Right. That guy.
Oh man, and obviously it's cleared up because you realise it's she's not in on it, and the butler, and it was the butler that was doing it. The butler was behind it.
Yes, I love that. Pretending to be a butler, waiting on inferior races was galling to me.
I know. Yeah, Mallow told about, and it's like, and it's apparently the dad's not fucking dead. He's there, he's alive, and she managed to find her daddy because she smelled his cheese.
Yes.
It's like,
and the guy who plays her father was the commissioner from Police Academy.
Oh, wait, what? George Gaines, is it? If I'm getting his name right, the actor.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Go back to the close up, and you'll see, if you look at his face. You'll
man. Yeah, he's Commandant Lassard.
Yeah.
Oh man, he was a very funny actor.
Yes,
and he was like a straight actor as well. I think he was like an opera a guy who's like done opera as well, and
Yeah.
it wasn't until like the police academy then they started, and he did that blowjob scene. It's like it must have really made his career as well because it introduced him to a lot of new people who weren't familiar with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, very funny old guy. He just plays it so sweet as well.
Yes.
We need more
Yeah, he
actors
definitely plays the bumbling old man who's is kind of confused and.
Yeah, and Carl Reiner's so funny here as this.
Oh God, he is so good.
He is such a fucking good director as well.
Yeah.
Once again, playing it so deadpan and so straight, and
it just oozes menace, right? And that arrogance, is.
Yeah, I figured out your
Field Marshal von Kluck.
Yeah, it's like a big conspiracy of Germans, and it's all about fucking
cheese
weaponizing mold. Cheese as well, like mature cheese. It's so
weaponized cheese mold.
Yeah, to fucking destroy a whole fucking country, decompose fucking a whole country.
Rocks, trees, mountains. They're going to dissolve the United States.
God, I mean, it's like that's all it leads to. This crazy twist, this completely ridiculous twist that only a film with Carl Reiner and Steve Martin could pull off.
But the duet between the two of them trying to say the evil villain explaining his plan stuff, right? Right after this, where he's like, no, it's I am the one. It was my plan. No. And then they start doing this duet, and it's hilarious.
I know they're just going back and forth about what they found out about.
Yeah, and they're like completing each other's words and sentences. Oh God, the speed of this is so brilliant.
Yeah, they're really childish here as well. Like they're trying to one up each other on what they discovered and how clever they discovered it, or how clever he thought it up.
Yeah, but they start out where like the exposition dump from von Kluck is a few sentences, then Martin does a few sentences, and then it just keeps getting progressively shorter, but there's no pause between the two of them towards the end, right? Where it's literally as soon as it's out of Reiner's mouth or halfway out of Reiner's mouth, then Martin is coming in, right? And the comedic timing for this is so good.
Yeah, no, because I mean, they must have done a lot of rehearsals as well just to get it right. Because
hold the mold, Kluck.
Yeah. And yeah, you always get that little scene where the bad guy's like, "It's too bad you're on the opposite side. We could have worked together."
I admire you as an opponent. And here we go.
Obviously she's pretending to be on the other side now, and it comes to that really fucking great moment where
and again, she's smart.
She's very smart as well. She's not a girl boss, but she's clever. She thinks on her feet, and she uses her feminine wilds. And we would never get that these days because the fucking
they're not feminine, so
I would be your
kind of Mackerfrau.
Yeah, and we don't. And the reveal is so fucking good.
Yes,
she could be my cleaning
woman.
And it's just what you need. It's just what you fucking need for him.
Yes. And I love Carl Reiner looking at him like, what the hell's going on as he breaks his handcuffs.
So now he's got the drop on him now, and he's only got a few shots, and so if he empties that, there'll still be plenty of men to...
Yeah, you've only got 6 bullets, but there are 9 of us.
Yeah, but who's going to be the one that's going to take the fucking bullet, though? Who's going to be the one that's going to sacrifice themselves?
Not those guys.
You are. Just thinks, fuck it, I'll do it myself. You're all cowards, and he gets a bullet for it. Even though he's flicked the switch, he throws the fucking gun at the lever. Brilliant.
Yeah. But we lost Terre Haute.
Yeah.
Damn, they were just about to get a public library.
Carlos comes in, and they arrest all the fucking Nazis, everyone that was involved, and we get a happy ending with them. And we do get this good little line as well where...
we give you 4 hours to wash and press your pajamas.
Don't think I'll be needing my pajamas anymore.
What a guy.
Yeah, and we come back to the other scene as well. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, adjusting your
Willie, yeah.
Up through the window, it's shifted out of whack.
Yes.
Oh, man, I love it. Oh, Fucking hell, Lance. I know it's a little late for
Lance.
joining us, though. We're just coming at the end. We will. And yeah, it's a lot of these lines do come back. I love these jokes that have this like repetition as well that just come back later on, and it's so clever as well.
Yeah, and again that she's hadn't had my will to adjust it like that in a long time, especially without having to beg.
That's the thing. I thought of nothing but hanging up my gun and spending the rest of my days in that ivy-covered cottage.
And then you get the teaser for the sequel that will never come.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I know. Because I think well, some films kind of teasing their sequels a bit. Because I know.
Oh yeah, Buckaroo Banzai did, and
yeah.
with the in the credits at the end it says Buckaroo Banzai will return and Buckaroo Banzai against the World Crime League.
Yeah,
this is when I realized that Hollywood lies.
Yeah, and they kind of rubbed the salt in as well because the foreshadowing you would see that we're never going to see.
Yes,
I know. I would love to have seen that.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely one that has grown on me a little bit after the second watch, and I probably will end up watching it again and probably love it more if I very rarely watch movies on repeat like I used to.
Yeah, I just think this one. So the comedy, I certainly enjoy the comedy, and the these two guys are really on their game doing this. But the thing that constantly brings me back and makes me watch this again is the technical competence with the how they did the costumes, how they match things up, how they do the shots and the actual set production to match everything up with the the clips from classic films that they're doing, how they do the lighting to match up, right? Because like in the scene where he's with Burt Lancaster in The Killers, Martin's under the shadow, like
no, they really did as well because even though the Blu-rays probably cleaned up the Steve Martin scenes a bit more, while the all the stuff still looks a tiny bit grainy, it still works though.
Yeah,
I think that's I think if they I don't know if they have released a 4K version, but they need to bring the grain back because I think it makes the look even more seamless.
Yeah, I think that if you did some like digital correction to balance out the the differences in film and the fact that you're zooming in on a lot of these shots in the classic movies that they're using, and to either sharpen them up a bit, in cases where you can, to make the grain match up, the blooming and all this, it'd be even better. But I enjoy the hell out of it as is. The cleverness of the so Martin, I know that Steve Martin talks about how like a lot of the shots where they were doing them reacting, he's actually got someone in front of him who's repeating the lines that's happening so he can react off of them.
Yeah, right? A lot of them times to do it. Even voice actors, like when they're reading the scripts on a microphone, someone behind the shield just sort of reads the other person's lines as well, don't they? It's
right, and getting the timing correct, right? For so much of that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of raw footage as well where the actor's like in a scene and he's not sat next to the other character. It's just him by himself. The camera's on him, and you can hear someone in the background just reading the scripts out.
Right. Yeah, to give response. Yeah, but in this one, because again the eye tracking matters, where he's looking, right? They actually had people set in the positions that the clips that he's interacting with are. So that you would match the looks, right?
Yeah,
so he looks like he's looking at the right focal depth. He looks like he's looking at the right height because he's looking into the eyes of someone, who's being a stand-in for the clip that he's going.
Yeah, so you feel interaction, don't you? And right. You're not seeing a guy looking at a fucking blank wall saying these lines, do you?
Yeah, or here, look at this tennis ball on the giant green studio.
Yeah, I know, because I mean, you always see actors reacting to a dragon, but they don't react how a person would react to a dragon. They always
look the scale,
because they have no idea what they're looking at.
Right, and that's the thing. So the one of the problems with CG and its overuse is that you're attempting to replicate reality in a lot of ways, and reality is far more complex than you can imitate. And we evolved to be in a 3D environment and
I know,
understand
'cause
where eyes are, where you're looking at things, right? The reaction to noises, right? How fast you react and all that, right? These are just things that we're evolved to do. We know it like, in our reptile brains, even if we don't actively are thinking about it, right? And it's why it puts us off, right? It kind of
yeah,
starts to
because
dance
you
in that
notice it,
uncanny
don't you? You
valley.
notice the CGI because it's like your eyes just naturally trained to notice it.
Right. Yeah, because we are social animals. We know how humans behave. We know how they react to things. And then even in a world where it's like, oh, I modeled the trees and I this and that, whatever it's like and so forth, we will see something and immediately just kind of feel a bit of unease because it's like that's not right. We know how things are supposed to be in the world because we evolved to recognize certain patterns because it kept us alive, right? And so when you try and
Yeah.
recreate that with CG, you can never accurately do that. So that's why CG should always be complementary, not a replacement for reality.
I know, because like sometimes CGI can work. It depends how it's executed, but I always prefer the practical effects. When you look at the thing, even though you
Yes.
know this is an animatronic or a puppet, you're still looking at something that's physically there. You know, you know there's weight behind it.
Right. And so are the actors.
Yeah,
Right. And again, yeah, the thing is that like weight, the way that momentum happens, right? We know this instinctually because we evolved to live in a 3D world where things actually happen according to the laws of physics. And when you render them, you can try and get as close as you can, but there will always be little tells on it, which is why you should always try to use, reality and physical things as much as possible, and then just use CG as like an enhancement. Right?
yeah. Because I
We've
mean,
got
like,
we've got a thing. It's a giant dragon, but we'll use CG for blinking the eyes because it was too difficult. Right? That's a subtle thing that you can handle, with CG. Um,
I totally agree. Yeah, it's like small things like when you saw Jurassic Park. The CG on the dinosaurs were always a bit more in the distance, but when it got close up, you had the animatronics on the puppets.
right. Well, and again, the dinosaurs are set in real environments. They're literally shooting a valley with some trees behind and all that stuff. So the reality around it gives it credibility to begin with. But if you tried to render all that, everything would just seem a little plastic and a little off.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy just how fucking great CGI was in the nineties and how well it was carefully handled. While today it just looks 10 times worse. You can just see how phony it is. There's nothing there. It's just coding and that's it.
Right. We
Uh,
understood when we first introduced them the limitations of the technology. And so you worked within those limitations and you had other tools in the bag that you could pull out, right? Like animatronics, right? The
mm.
T-Rex when it's actually biting on the Ford Explorer when the kids are in it, right? That's a giant animatronic because you couldn't CG it and make the physics work, right? The movement of the glass and how it's pushing down on them and all that.
Yeah,
You
and
just you
I think that glass accidentally broke in real life as well, and they weren't expecting it. And yeah, those kids were really shitting themselves when it
yeah,
happened. Like,
yeah, and so that's the the if you go back to the 90s, they had used everything from I got practical effects, but I got to light it just right. I'll have pneumatics and armatures to do things. I'll stop motion certain things. Now I suddenly have this magic CG thing that I can use, but I can't. It's not a replacement. Lucas is the one that makes the huge mistake where it's like, I'll just shoot everything on green screen and replace it. No, you will not,
I know.
right? Because it'll look like shit. And as you've gone away from that era, a lot of the effects people today don't know how to do practical effects, don't have those tools in their tool bag anymore.
I know it's like they're all rushed now these days because yeah, Tito had it right because Robert Patrick was actually there. They just sort of like CGI'd over him on certain moves.
Right, you do overlays, you do
Yeah,
things
that's
right,
it.
but the actor is the one who chose not to blink. right? To do
Yeah.
that odd run, right? Because he knew that
He's really doing that. He really does reload that gun fast without fumbling. That the cameras are not sped up or anything.
right.
He was a beast in that movie. He
Yeah,
really
and
was.
that's true for you know a lot of, well, I mean, you look at Steve Martin, the tricks he does with his hat, with the matches, with the cigarette where
Yeah,
he
because
lights
he's really
both
doing
ends
that.
and tears it apart, right? These are all things you have to, or, the rolling the coins with his hands, right? These are all things that you spent time getting right because that's part of what the character needs. Now they'll just be, okay, we'll just CG it.
Plus, Steve Martin is he probably was a veteran on stage before he did the movies as well. His job is to be in entertainment, so yeah, of course he's
Right.
got to learn all these tricks with the cigarettes and that, and 'cause that's his job.
Yeah,
And
and that's
yeah, because when you're looking at all him interacting with all these movie stars, even though this is footage from decades ago, and some of these movie stars were dead by then, these are still real people in that footage
yeah.
reacting.
Yeah. And they have a presence because they know how to physically communicate with the audience because so often they had done live gigs on stage in front of real people. The best way to learn how to be funny is to have an actual audience where you get direct feedback from the audience. You know when something is working and when it isn't because they'll tell you, right? You'll see somebody yawn in the back. You'll see somebody look, they're reaching for their drink and they're not looking at you. You will pick up on that real quick. Not here, let me totally fucking die and the whole stage catches on fire before I figure out, oh, this might not be working out.
Yeah, and plus the fact that this is noir as well means the comedy works better because they always say the best comedians always say comedy comes from some kind of form of misery.
Yes.
It's like life is hard, so you got no choice but to laugh at it.
Right. You have to have a truth in
Yeah,
comedy for it to be effective.
yeah, and yeah, it is the misery, and I think that's why some of the best comedy characters are always kind of these really super flawed people who get into all these like crazy things that we don't always dare to do because we've still got that part of our brain where we need to keep things a bit civil. But it's like when you get Larry David and he's being a complete sociopath, but you relate to what he does a little bit sometimes.
Right. They break the rules that are uncomfortable for most people to break.
Yeah, but there's still a truth behind them as well.
Right. And it's because you look at it and go, man, I wish I could do that. But
Yeah,
I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to do that and all that, right? And so the comic is in many ways like the fool in a court, right? That
yeah.
for any noble to make fun of the king is a great way to get yourself drawn and quartered, right? But the fool could say anything to anybody because he had no power. But that ability to say anything to anybody was an important power and also an important corrective feedback mechanism
Have a
for
good
the
one next.
court and for the ruler themselves. And we need that in society as well,
Yeah,
right?
no, because we need to. So many people comedy are trying to kill off comedy, and we need comedy. It's how because we laugh at the how because we kind of just got to deal with life, don't we? And that's how we deal with it. It's like a defense mechanism.
Yeah, the people that want to kill off comedy understand that the most powerful tool against those that are self-important and
Mm.
self-righteous and all that is ridicule and mockery,
I
right?
know, and
Because
yeah, people who don't wish to be humbled and not being humbled is like the best thing that could ever fucking happen to
exactly,
you.
right,
It is.
and they want to, because the thing is that when you make fun of them, there is nothing they can do about it, and everybody else, because it's funny, will laugh, which means that it then becomes more comfortable to point and mock them, and they lose their power, right? Because most of the people like that tend to be, their power is based on intimidation and making people uncomfortable, right? But when you mock them, you reduce them, you make them small.
I know the only people that don't feel small through laughter is the ones that get the joke and they see
Exactly.
the humor in it. And yeah, we've got. Yeah, and, it's not always a nice thing having your pride fucking challenged, but it's always important now how you handle it. I mean, because if if you let it get to you, then life's gonna fucking destroy you, and it'll lead
Yeah,
you down an even darker path that where you'll never have a life. You will never have.
yeah.
Uh, I know.
The if you look, I mean, 2,000 years ago, the Greeks are writing plays, but it's also in the pantheon. Tragedy is almost always instigated by hubris, and hubris invites nemesis, and
Hmm.
nemesis is an actual god in the pantheon, and she will fuck you up. Right. So I'm full of myself. I know more than I know this, whatever. And Nemesis is like, oh, I'm hearing the song of my people. I need to come have a visit to that person.
Oh man, that's good. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up. We're just coming up to 2 hours now, and yeah, I think I better get to fucking bed because it's getting a little bit late now. But it's been a real good stream. It's going through this movie again, and someone who was actually a bit more familiar with it and helped me understand it even more than I did before. It's been a great pleasure. And
Oh, I'm just happy that I got to
I
introduce you to this movie. This is it's criminally underappreciated. That there's just so many people don't know. I mean, my generation would know this because we saw it on TV plenty of times. But generations after that, this thing just kind of disappeared. It stopped being, run on TBS or TNT or on the pay channels, and so it's kind of gone away. And it's a movie that people should go back and look at and really appreciate.
Yeah, I'm going to try and see if I can go back on it a couple of times myself, if I can.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's next planned for this panel? I do not know. I've not got any other streams up for the next few weeks. I've got an interview with Natalie Kennedy, and then an hour later I'll be going through The Shining with her, and that's about it. But I'm trying to get a few more videos done in advance, get a bit more, get another one done this week, get my Fallout one done before the end of the week, and get some more streams booked for the next few months. And before I go, is there anything you want to plug, Emperor Jay Goodwin?
Oh, I will be on every Friday. I'm on Adam Gray's B-roll stage where he torments me with terribleness, and I have to suffer some sort of penance. I don't know. He may be nemesis. And then tomorrow I'll be on Gooch's stream. We're going to be covering Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Yeah, okay, that should be good. I'll try and catch some of that as well. I've been meaning to catch Coach's Cyberpunk stream because I watched that series. It was a fucking great series, and I love the game as well.
Yeah, I think we're doing episode 5 tomorrow.
Yeah, I actually was thinking that, what, I might try and see if I can do Bringing Out the Dead with Gooch because I think he mentioned he was a paramedic once as well.
Yes,
yeah, so it would be good to have someone who knows that's his stuff there about it.
Oh, he would love that.
Yeah. And I think Lance recommended me a film with Sean Penn called Asphalt City, which is about paramedics. So I don't know, mate. Might be a good film to pass along to him, see if he might like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for joining us, and do catch Emperor Goodwin on Gooch's channel, like he's on the time and schedule he's mentioned. Same thing for the B-roll stage. I will re-edit the description and put the link to the B-roll stage channel because I think that's mostly where you found him, isn't it? You, isn't it? Yep. So I will do that very much, and do go on the B-roll stage and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Or share their channel with people who haven't discovered that channel yet.
And send Neb a fine cup of your famous Java. He needs it.
Yes, I could use a nice extended, a big cup of extended Java.
Exactly.
So yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. You've all been beautiful bastards, and that's me done. And I am off to the pub, so I will see you later. And thank you for joining me, Emperor Goodwin.
It's good. It was a pleasure.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure.
And I will see you all. Good night.
Love you, chat.